We're talking about components of language, and there are several components of language. The first one I want to address with you here is this idea of phonology. You hear that term quite frequently, and we hear lots of different words that start with the PH sound when we're talking about language, and that can be somewhat confusing. And we will address those during the semester. But let's start to take this word phonology apart. You've seen words like this that end in ology, and you know what ology means. Ology means to study something. It's the study of, like in biology, it's the study of living things. But there's also this other word part here, phono. And phono is like in the word phonograph or the word telephone. Phono means sound. So phonology, in its basic sense, means the study of sounds. Let's just get these little lines out of the way. Oops, put that back. Let's grab that line. And so one way to think about phonology is, I'm just going to give you a basic definition here, is phonology is really about sounds. It's about the sounds of a language, and it's also about how those sounds combine. We, in English, combine sounds in certain ways. There are sounds that are going to go back to back quite a bit. The S sound, the T sound, S and T. Those go back to back quite frequently. Like in the word stall, you hear the S sound and the T sound back to back. So there are certain combinations of sounds that are quite common in English. Let's start to break phonology down a little bit more so you can understand some of its other dimensions. We're not going to get into great detail about these right now, but we will as the semester unfolds. One way to think about phonology is you can think of it like it's a house. Okay, I'm going to build a little bit of a house here. So there's that part of the house. Let me grab my roof. Oh, these won't move. Oh, come on, computer. Forgive me, you guys, for this little delay. Oh, there's part of my house. Let's see if I can get the other. Oh, there's the other part of my house. All right. So as I'd mentioned, phonology is a little bit like a house. It's a big idea, and lots of stuff lives inside of it. And the first idea that I want you to recognize that's certainly related to phonology is this term right here, phoneme. You've heard the idea of a phoneme before, and you know what phonemes are. Phonemes are sounds. And remember, phonology is about the study of those sounds. All languages have sounds, except for sign languages, but all languages spoken on earth have sounds. And so a phoneme, one way to think of a phoneme, a very simple definition and a proper definition, is a phoneme as an individual sound. And in English, there are only a few dozen individual sounds that we use. In fact, that number is actually 44, plus or minus 3. Some linguists say we have about 41 sounds in English, others say we have about 47, but a nice round number is 44. So there are about 44 individual sounds in English, and we're going to explore those a little later in the semester. But one of the common 44 is the M sound, or the S sound, S. Those are two of the 44. There are some other funny sounds that are part of the 44, like oi, sh. Those are two other sounds. And we'll explore those, as I mentioned, a little bit more as the semester unfolds. All right? Now, there are other ideas that are associated with phonology, and let's grab one of those right now and let's pull that up. And this is a dangerous word right here, phonetics. It is used wrong all of the time. Phonetics is a relatively simple idea. Again, it's about the sounds of a language, but phonetics is about how we as human beings produce sounds. Phonetics is about how you use your tongue, how you use your teeth, how you use your nasal passages, how you move air to create sounds. Okay? Phonetics is not phonics. Let me say that again. Phonetics is not phonics. Frequently people use those two terms together, and that's an improper use. Some other ideas that are associated with phonology are this idea right here, phonological awareness. And that's going to be a major part of our course. We're going to look very closely at phonological awareness and understand it at a very deep level and how to assess it and how to teach it and its importance for reading and spelling instruction. One way of thinking about phonological awareness is think of it as kind of a room inside of the house of phonology. And inside of that room of phonological awareness, some smaller ideas live. In fact, I can maybe squish that down a little bit to make it a little bit smaller. One idea related to, oops, I didn't want that to happen. One idea related to phonological awareness is this idea of phonemic awareness. And another idea related to phonological awareness is this idea of phoneme awareness. Those are smaller ideas. They're not as big as encompassing as the idea of phonological awareness. So let's review here. And I think I have a little bit of a pointer. So let's go here. Maybe this will work. We were talking about this idea of phonology. And we said phonology is really about sounds. It's the study of sounds. And all languages, all spoken languages on earth have sounds. They're made up of a bunch of individual sounds. And we call those individual sounds phonemes. And in English, there are about 44 of them. The way we produce those sounds using our tongue, our teeth, our throats, our nasal passages, that's what phonetics is. It's really about human physiology, how you create sounds. And then there's this other idea of phonological awareness, which has these smaller ideas associated with it of phoneme and phonemic awareness. I'm not going to get into those with you right now, but I just want you to know they're part of this bigger, broader idea of phonology. That leaves really one other word that I want to talk with you about. And it's this idea, and we'll pop it right up here. And it's this idea of phonics. I want you to see how I've positioned the word phonics. It's a little bit inside of our house of phonology, but it's a little bit outside of our house. Because phonics is about sound, but it's not about sound exclusively. It's about other things. And we will address those in the days and weeks ahead. Okay? So let's just stop there.